Johannes Pezhi Mguni lay in a small, dense thicket, his body covered in deep, infected wounds from a brutal lion attack. For 4 agonizing days, he fought to stay alive in the unforgiving wilderness of Zimbabwe, clinging to life against all odds. The ordeal began on a warm afternoon in 2013, when Pezhi and his friends ventured into the bush near Hwange National Park to gather firewood and hunt small game. The dense forest, alive with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves, masked the imminent danger lurking nearby. The group was cautious, but as seasoned villagers, they were confident in their abilities to navigate the wild terrain. Suddenly, the serene atmosphere shattered. Without warning, a female lion emerged from the underbrush, her eyes blazing with territorial rage. The air filled with roars and screams as the lion attacked. Pezhi's friends scattered, but he wasn't fast enough. The lion leaped at him, her massive paws knocking him to the ground. He felt the searing pain as her claws tore into his back and her powerful jaws clamped down on his leg. Blood spurted from the wounds, soaking the ground. In the chaos, Pezhi's friends, gripped by terror, fled to seek help, leaving him behind. The lion, satisfied with her dominance, retreated, leaving Pezhi to bleed out on the forest floor. Through sheer willpower, he managed to drag himself to a nearby thicket, seeking refuge from the harsh sun and any returning predators. The first night was a blur of pain and fear. Pezhi used leaves and mud to cover his wounds, attempting to stave off the bleeding and keep insects away. His leg was mangled, his back a tapestry of deep gashes. Every movement sent waves of agony through his body, but he knew he had to keep fighting. As the days passed, Pezhi's situation grew more desperate. He had no food, and his only water came from the dew he licked off leaves and the moisture from wild fruits he could reach. Dehydration set in, his lips cracked and swollen, and his vision blurred from exhaustion and fever. His wounds festered, the flesh around them turning a sickly green as infection took hold. The second day was a nightmare of hallucinations and relentless pain. Pezhi's body was weakening, his mind slipping in and out of consciousness. Flies buzzed incessantly around his wounds, laying eggs in the exposed flesh. He swatted at them weakly, his movements sluggish and ineffective. The nights were the worst, the cold seeping into his bones, the darkness amplifying his fears. He heard the distant roars of lions, each one sending a jolt of terror through his already ravaged body. On the third day, Pezhi's condition continued to deteriorate. His body was racked with fever, the infection spreading. He could no longer muster the strength to move, his energy spent on simply staying alive. He prayed for rain, for anything to quench his unbearable thirst. The sky remained mercilessly clear. By the fourth day, Pezhi was barely clinging to life. His body was a patchwork of dried blood and festering wounds, his skin pale and clammy. His breaths were shallow, each one a struggle. Finally, on that fourth day, salvation arrived. The search party, having scoured the area relentlessly, found him. They were horrified by his condition, emaciated, covered in dirt and dried blood, and barely conscious. The rescuers quickly lifted him onto a makeshift stretcher and rushed him to the nearest medical facility. At the hospital, doctors worked tirelessly to save him. Pezhi endured multiple surgeries to clean and close his wounds, battling severe infections and the toll of his ordeal. His road to recovery was long and arduous, but his incredible resilience and will to survive saw him through one of the most grueling experiences imaginable.